Japanese death poems. Poems that were written by Japanese writers before their death as a farewell to life, also known as a jisei. Japanese death poems always have an interesting meaning or story behind it. A poem that I found interesting was by Otodaken. Otodaken was stabbed while he was taking a bath. While clutching on the knife to pull it out of his chest, he said a poem. The poem said, "Had I not known that I was dead already, I would have mourned my loss of life." I found the story behind this poem very interesting because he was stabbed while he was taking a bath, and I just find that very interesting. Another warrior by the name of Takamata Hitishigi lost the battle to his rival. Before dying, he said a poem. "Shall Asura subdue a man like me? I shall be born again, and then I'll cut the head off Katsui." I like this poem due to the rivalry behind it. I thought that was really interesting. Even though dying to his rival Katsui, he will cut off his head in his next life when he's reincarnated. A poem written by Kogetsu Sogen that only uses one word. Katsu, 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 katsu. Katsu is a shout that is described in Chan and Zen Buddhism. It was a way to describe or expose the enlightened state. After realizing the definition of katsu, when Kogetsu Sogen died, he finally reached enlightenment. I think that's what I got out of the poem and the meaning behind it. Shunpo Saki. My sword leans against the sky. With its polished blade, I'll behead the Buddha and all of its saints. Let the lightning strike where it will. After Shamsoku recited this poem, he gave a single laugh and then died. According to Buddhist belief, a man who sins against religions and morality is liable to die by a stroke of lightning. Now, 7 years before his death, he took leave with his disciples and followers with the following words. "At times I supported the sky, at times the earth, at times I turned out to a dragon, at times to a snake. I wandered at will through the cycles of life and of death. All the fathers of our faith I took into my mouth. I give as I will, and I take as I will. I slashed a leopard with my teeth. My spirit smashes the mountains." Now, when Shukasoki died, his followers and disciples burned his corpse, buried the ashes in the ground, and forbid them to erect a burial stone in his memory. Goshi. Returning thanks. For life, I turn back and bow eastward. Goshi wrote this poem to thank the living for the kindness he has received over his lifetime, and as he was dying, he looked toward the east before starting westward, which is the direction of paradise. Japanese death poems have this beauty behind them because of how Japanese view death. Now, compared to how Americans view death compared to Japanese is very different. American believes that death is an enemy that can be battled by modern medicine and high-tech machines. But compared to Japanese view death as a natural thing to life. You shouldn't fear death, you should see it as it is, but it shouldn't stop you from living your life to the fullest. And I actually seem to like how the Japanese view death. It's rather calming. But I also like the idea of how the Japanese write poems before they die. Like, that's kind of a cool way to die, in my opinion. Now, there are many other Japanese death poems, but I only have covered 5 of my favorites. Now, there is a book that has a compilation of Japanese death poems, so if you're interested, you can pick this book up.